The views expressed in this blog are hosted on my own website, are strictly personal, and do not reflect the views of any organization. Hello and welcome friends once again to Straight Bat, my weekly video blog where, as the title suggests, I comment with a straight bat. Now, one of the most dramatic, striking images of this week were the mounds of cash that were found at the residence of one Arpita Mukherjee, reportedly an aide to West Bengal Minister Partha Chatterjee, he himself a close aide of West Bengal Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee. Not one, not 2 crores, but 50 crore or 40-50 crore is what is claimed by the Enforcement Directorate that conducted the raids. Now, all of this has embarrassed clearly Mamta Banerjee, who claims that she will be tough and intolerant towards any form of corruption. It has certainly meant that Partha Chatterjee's political career is now at the crossroads. He's been arrested and sacked by the Bengal Chief Minister. The fear, of course, is that this could only be the tip of the iceberg and is therefore hugely embarrassing for Mamta Banerjee's government in Bengal. Now, my own view, it's great to have the Enforcement Directorate prosecute and convict VVIPs, because it has always been my view that unless VIP politicians are convicted and jailed, there will be no end to the cancer of corruption. So please go ahead and prosecute and convict eventually Mr. Chatterjee. But remember also that fast spreading cancer can't be attended to by just 1 or 2 rounds of chemotherapy. So I ask the question, does anyone seriously believe that Partha Chatterjee is the only one out there who is neck deep in this cash and carry political system of ours? So I thought this week I should do a reality check on our Enforcement Directorate, ED, the 2 words that now bring fear in our netas, like IT used to bring in the 70s and 80s, it's now ED, Enforcement Directorate, in the news for the right and wrong reasons. So I'm just going to put out all the facts in the case and make the point, my central argument, that India has now 2 geographies. The geography where the Enforcement Directorate is hyperactive, which is where there are opposition rule states, and where the ED appears dormant, at least to me, which are BJP ruled states. Let's, if you don't believe me, let me give you the facts. Let's chronology. Let's go with the facts of this case, the track record of the ED just in the last 6 months. On 23rd of July, ED has arrested Partha Chatterjee in this teacher recruitment scam in Kolkata. On the 21st of July, ED questioned Sonia Gandhi in the National Herald case. Earlier, they had questioned Rahul Gandhi for 58 hours in the same case. On 23rd of June, ED questions Trinamool Congress MP and Mamta's nephew Abhishek Banerjee's wife, Rujura Narula, in the coal scam case. Earlier, Abhishek Banerjee has also been questioned in this case. On the 21st of June, the ED questions Anil Parab, then Maharashtra Minister, close aide of then Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, again in a money laundering case. 2nd of July, ED questions Sanjay Raut, the Shiv Sena's voluble spokesperson, in an alleged money laundering case. At the time, the Shiv Sena government was on the brink. On the 30th of May, ED questions or ED arrests in this case Delhi Health Minister Satyendra Jain from the Aam Aadmi Party, close aide of Mr. Kejriwal, again in an alleged money laundering case. On the 26th of May, ED files a charge sheet against Karnataka Congress President DK Shivkumar, again in a money laundering case. He's been earlier arrested. 23rd of February, ED arrests Maharashtra Minister and NCP leader Nawab Malik in a land deal linked to underworld don Dawood Ibrahim. On the 2nd of July, ED attaches properties, 96 crore assets of a TRS MP Nama Nageshwar Rao and his company. On the 2nd of February, ED attaches properties worth 6.5 crores of a DMK minister Anita Radhakrishnan. I could go on and on. The ED is hyperactive. In fact, the number of cases it has registered in the last 4 years is almost quadruple of what they were of the cases that they had earlier, maybe several times more. I have not included Naveen Patnaik's Biju Janata Dal in Odisha or Jagan Mohan Reddy's YSRCP in Andhra, because let's be honest, they are described today as BJP friendly regimes and therefore seem to have escaped the ED clutch. So let's look at the other side of the coin now to make my point about different geographies in this country, even though the ED is a national agency. B.S. Yediyurappa, former Karnataka Chief Minister, accused of land and mining scam. CBI probed into him. That probe was reportedly inconclusive. Certainly no ED has landed on Yediyurappa's door at the moment. Reddy brothers of Bellary, accused in a 16,500 crore mining scam. Case closed in 2017. The brothers are now out and about. So Yediyurappa, former Karnataka CM of the BJP, Reddy brothers now with the BJP, seem okay. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, BJP Chief Minister in Madhya Pradesh, if you might remember the Vyapam scam, at that time he was under the scanner. He was given a clean chit in 2017. Ramesh Pokhriyal, BJP Chief Minister in Uttarakhand and then a union minister, he also was accused of a land scam. The probe never took off in his case. Then we have an interesting case, Narayan Rane, accused in a money laundering case running into several hundred crores. The probe has made no headway since Mr. Rane joined the BJP and guess what? Became a minister in the Modi government. Remember, in Rane's case, the original accusations were made by the BJP's Kirit Somaya. He put out all the documents of Rane's money laundering. Himanta Biswa Sarma, the poster boy chief minister now of the BJP of Assam, once was being investigated in the Sarda chit fund scam as well as the Louis Berger bribery case. Now all the cases seem to be in cold storage, and here too, interestingly, remember the accusations were originally made by the BJP when Himanta Biswa Sarma was in the Congress party. And very interestingly, the former Goa chief minister Digambar Kamath, who is still in the Congress, has charges framed against him in the same Louis Berger scam, which at least in Assam seems to have gone into cold storage. And now the buzz in Goa is that Digambar Kamath is ready to switch to the BJP because he then believes the charges against him will be dropped. Let's take a look at Suvendu Adhikari from Bengal. Once with the TMC, was accused at the time in the Sarda and the Narda sting case. That time, remember, he was in the TMC. Now that he is in the BJP and is their face in Bengal, investigations into his role seem to have, well, once again died a slow death. Bhavna Gauli, Shiv Sena MP, their chief whip in parliament, she is now with the Shinde Sena. She has been issued several summons by the enforcement directorate. An aide of her was arrested again in a money laundering land deal. All of this before the split in the Sena. After the split, she joined the Shinde Sena. Since then, no summons issued to her. Now again, I can go on and on with the number of government-linked politicians who suddenly find themselves, well, out of the danger zone of the enforcement directorate. As a result, what's the message? The message seems to me that if you are with the BJP or supporting the BJP, then the ED doesn't come knocking on your door. If you are in a non-BJP ruled state or affiliated with a non-BJP opposition, then you will almost certainly come under the ED's gaze. The best example to draw this distinction is Karnataka. Now, in the last few months, several charges have been made, serious charges by contractors of bribery and commissions being charged in every deal. Ask anyone, Karnataka is one of those states which works on a cash and carry model, is what we are told. And yet what happens? No ED raids at the homes of any of the ministers to find piles of cash that they may have made, because Karnataka today is a BJP ruled state. On the other hand, you've got the opposition leaders who remain under the ED scanner in Karnataka, a state that goes to the polls next year. So my basic question, my friends, is this. Why is it that the ED doesn't knock on both doors, BJP ruled and non-BJP ruled? What or who stops it in a way from carrying out what I would say are fair, transparent and independent inquiries? Let me be clear, I have no sympathy at all with opposition politicians who are arrested in financial scams today. But the fact is, you cannot be a caged parrot in one state and then be a Rottweiler in another. You are increasing the number of cases that you are registering, but you still have a low conviction rate. Less than 1 in 100 cases registered under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act is actually leading to conviction. Just about 23 convictions over an extended period of the last 8-9 years. As I said, you can't be armed with these enormous powers of arrest and seizure and then have such a low conviction rate. At the outset, as I said, I would like to see India's politics completely cleaned up. We need clean politics to encourage younger people, in particular fresh-faced people, to enter our politics. But there is a difference between a cleanup and a washing machine. If and when this cleanup extends to every state of the country, then we can buy the message that the Prime Minister once gave from Red Fort, na khaunga na khane dunga. Because else I am afraid it will become a case of selective investigations by the ED that will only confirm the popular perception that the war against corruption is, my friends, only about political convenience. It is not about really resetting a broken system right. Think about it. That was the Straight Bat. Do of course subscribe to my YouTube channel for many more such videos. For now, stay well, stay safe. Jai Hind.